Okay, so let's go through, I'm gonna go through 2 examples and then kind of turn you loose. They're gonna be kind of different than what normal problems you're used to seeing. So here we go. We're gonna go with a Q and P column. And we're gonna negate the P and we're gonna negate the whole thing. Now the goal is when you first start these problems, again, I'm not giving you any of the sentences, so you don't have to worry about if it's overall true and false. You're just going to set the truth table and tell me like the probability, like the 3 out of 4 chances or 1 out of 4, whatever it's going to be. When I look at this problem, the big thing I want you to get from this, number 1, is know how many columns do I actually need? Can you get that set up right in the beginning? Do you know what you need to actually finish this? Because this is very different than anything I've assigned you up to this point. Second thing, do we even understand how to get the true and falses filled in the chart? That's the second thing. And the third thing is like, did it make sense? Do you understand what it's actually telling you, that type of thing? Okay? All right, my close this, sorry. I'll put it back up here in a minute. A little too loud. Okay, so let's walk through this setup here. So when we actually set up this table, what are my 2 sentences? Q and P. Okay? You have to have at least a sentence for each one of those. Okay? You need a column for each one. Now, we also have a negation column for P. So if you negate something, we'll need that column. Now that I have that set up, now I can do the part in the parentheses. Because if you see the parentheses here, this is an and problem. That's an and problem. These are the 2 columns I'm going to be looking at to do the and, to do that conjunction. Does that make sense why I need those 2 columns? The conjunction is comparing these 2 with an and. Do I have these 2 columns on my graph? Yes, I do. I have that negation of P, and I have the Q column, so I can go ahead and do the one in the parentheses. Negation of P, okay? So we have that column itself. The last column is I'm going to negate the whole thing. I'm going to negate the last column we just did. The Q and not P column. That's negating this column. So this row, or this column here, I should say, is made from all these answers, just the opposites. Does that make sense how I set it up? Some people just need to see that, like, okay, this is what it's saying. Know how many that you need. All right, as I go through, I'll try to kind of pinpoint what we're doing. Hopefully it makes sense as we go through. But when we have P and Q to start with, we have to set up all my trues and falses. So what are my options? What can they be for my first 2?
True.
They can both be true. What else?
True, false.
It could be a true false.
False true.
It could be a false true.
False false.
Or they could both be false. Those are every combination without knowing what the sentences are. That could happen here. That's the hypothetical. All right, the next column. What do we have to do in here?
False.
Okay, got a false. What else?
True.
True.
False.
False.
True.
True. Okay. Oh, we got this. Just change all these answers to the opposites. That's what we just did. You don't have to think about it. That's why I have that set up. Okay, so now that we have that, now we can move on to that next column. The next column is comparing Q and the not P column. So these are the 2 columns I'm going to be looking at. That's this column right here and that column. Does that make sense which 2 I'm looking for? Now it's an and. So for this to have a T in it, both have to be true. That's why it's and. This and this. So they both have to work. Okay, so let's look. Are they both true?
False.
No. That's a false. Are they both true? Yes. Are they both true? Definitely not. And are they both true? No. There you go. Make sense? Again, I was ignoring this column when I was setting that up and always double check. That's a false, that's a true, that's a false, that's a false. Because again, for an and to work out, an and problem, they both have to be trues to get a T in that column. The last column, here, just change all the answers to opposites. We're going to negate the last column we just did. So this is the column we're negating, it's that one right there. So it's going to be what? True, false, true, true. So it looks like on this particular problem, it's 3 out of 4 chances is true. 1 out of 4 is false. And that's the final probability. It's like 75% and 25%. That'll be the likelihood of being true and false. All right, questions with the idea. Now, I don't even know what the sentences are. You don't need to know them. but we can set up the truth table to see the prediction. Okay, we good? Okay, let's go to the next one. This one's going to be a little bit goofy. This is our last one today. All right, so I'm going to go with R or P and not P. This is my last one today. Now, I'm not setting up the one, this only has 2 sentences. I'm not going to do a 3-sentence. That's in your homework today. There's 3 sentences. If you want me to do a 3-sentence, I'll put one up there. It's up to you if you want it, but I think we're just going to, this will be my last example. I think we did a couple of those yesterday. Okay, so let's walk through this. So, what are my sentences? What are my columns that I'm going to need?
R or P.
R and P, okay. R and P. What else do we need?
What about the negation of P?
Negation of P column, definitely need that. What other columns do I need?
R or P?
R or P, that was what I heard earlier. Yep. R or P,
And then the whole thing.
then the final thing. Yep. R or P and the negation of P column. Okay, so these are my 5 columns I need. Again, how do I know? Well, number one, the first thing I look at is how many sentences I have. I have 2 sentences, R and P. I definitely have a negation, so if there's any negations in any of this, I'll make a negation column. But this parenthesis has to be its own column. The final answer is comparing this column, which we already have, and this column. So those 2 are accounted for. So the final answer, this column, is made from these 2. That's how I know which columns I'm looking for. The big thing is this one has an or, and it also has an and. So we're going to have to really pay attention to what symbols we're using. Okay? All right. Questions, comments about how I set this up? That was good. All right, perfect. Let's go through the math here. So it looks like they could both be true. One could be true, the other one false, or vice versa, and they could both be false. So there's my options. There's not 8. There's only 2 sentences. There's 3 sentences like R, P, and Q. Then you'd have 8 sentences, 8 rows. This is all every combination. Negation of P column, what do I put in here?
False, true,
Okay.
false, true.
Yeah, false, true, false, true. So the negation of P, I just negated that one. The next column is R or P. This is an or, if I can write that up there. This is an or problem. So as long as one of them is true, it's automatically a true. If they're both false, that's the only time you'll ever get a false on an or. So R and P, I'm looking at these 2 columns because that's what they're comparing. So they're both true, we have at least 1 true, we have another true, and we have 2 falses, that's false. For an or, to be a T in that column for or, just one of them has to be true. The last column, the very last final answer, I'm comparing the not P column, the negation of P column, and this column, which are these 2 basically. Now, this is an overall, this is an and problem. So to be a T in this column here, they both have to be true. They both have to be T's to have that final column to be a T, because it's an and. So, and again, we're comparing this column and that column. So, are they both trues? No. Are they both true? Yes. Are they both true? No. Are they both true? No. So it looks like it's 1 out of 4 is true, 3 out of 4 is false. So in this particular case, it's 75 to 25 again. Now we get to 3 sentences and the math changes. Okay, is there any questions with anything I've done up to this point? Any certain situation you want to see? I'm trying to make up different ones as I go. Okay, I'm going to train loose on homework. Homework's a worksheet today. It's 8 problems, 5 of which are pretty easy. I consider, these are kind of more tough on the board, but I consider easy ones have like maybe 2 letters in it. 3 of which are really kind of challenging, where they have like 3 sentences and there's things kind of going all over the place. It's due on Thursday, so you have at least a couple days to work on it. And you'll have the rest of the class day to work on it. You can work in your little pods, you can move around. We'll have new scene charts. We'll start something brand new tomorrow. don't be thrown off by that I'm suddenly switching gears. All of a sudden that we're just leaving this. Make sure it has a front and a back to it. There should be 8 crowns total.
Okay.
This is easier than the crazy ones that the book tried to assign you. Absolutely ballistic what they tried to assign.
I get something. Sorry.
You can move around where you can sit wherever you like. Right, did I give you guys a worksheet?
I was working with Abby's phone.
Never get a worksheet, then I didn't forget anyone. All right, there you go. It's due on Thursday. You can move around. You can sit wherever you like.
Yeah.